Alright, what's up everybody? We have a 2012 Jeep Liberty KK that is going to be going with a different wheel and tire package. We're going to be installing some 24-inch black Rhinos. Right now it's in stock form. We're going to see what kind of miles per gallon it gets on this trip, and we're going to also see at interstate speeds if it gets, you know, decent RPM and all that stuff, and we're just going to record what the RPM is so that we can see the difference whenever we throw the heavier wheel and tire package on. So let's go. Okay, so I'm just going to drive how I normally drive, you know what I mean? I drive kind of conservative in this vehicle. Alright, so here we are, 60 miles an hour. We've gone 8 miles, that's long enough for us to get an accurate MPG reading. Our average is 19.3. Holding steady at about 1900 RPM. So right at the top of the OK band there, if you can see in the green. Alright, so notes. At 60 miles an hour, I was sitting at about 1900 RPM. After about 16 miles on this trip, we've averaged about 20 miles per gallon. It was floating between 20 and 21. It's looking good. This is exactly how the vehicle should run. Obviously, it's in stock form, so we're going to see what happens whenever we put that extra rolling weight on there. Alright, so we're back, and after driving 477.5 miles, you can see I didn't reset the trip yet. We've got an average of 12.9 miles per gallon.
Fatality.
On stock gears in these 24-inch black Rhinos. So, obviously, you can see that I've been driving it for a while, almost 500 miles now. So I've gotten a feel for how it is, and I can tell you guys, performance-wise, it's a turtle.
Am I not turtly enough for the Turtle Club?
Is he okay?
It doesn't want to go into overdrive, of course, unless it's just like flat ground with the wind to your tail, basically. Really, really bad performance. It definitely needs to be regeared. Because this is, you know, a 477-mile trip and the average miles per gallon, I can't really say that it's a valid comparison to the first video. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and reset. Okay, so I've reset that, and I'm also going to reset the trip. Okay. Done. Now we're going to compare apples to apples by going the same exact route that I did the first video, and we'll see where it ends up whenever I get back to this spot. Alright, so here we go. Alright, 60 miles an hour on flat ground, interstate speeds. I'm clocking just barely over 1600 RPM. Actually, it might be even lower than 6. It might be between 15 and 1600 RPM. So let's just say 1550. Oh, look at this. I'm still on flat ground. Okay, basically flat ground, but I just had to downshift. I can't even see the grade of the road that it just downshifted for.
He's fine, Turtle.
That's horrible. That is absolutely horrible. This is really, really bad, guys. It was sitting at like 1900 RPM, healthy, in overdrive. Now I'm going back down the hill, so I'm gaining some, but in overdrive now, on flat ground, it's in the same situation, and it's like barely clinging on to 1600. If it's even at 1600, it might be 1550. Okay, well, went around the same miles on this trip as I did from the first trip on stock wheels and tires. Averaged about 14.6 miles per gallon, which is not great. Definite decrease. However, it gets worse because you know, if you remember a couple clips ago, I had 477.5 miles on the trip, and my average miles per gallon was like 12-13 miles a gallon. So it's bad right now in this comparison video, and it gets worse as I keep driving it. Because this vehicle has 373s in it from factory, I'm probably going to go with 456s. I feel like that should be right on the money. 48s are also on the table, but I kind of feel like 456 might be the way to go. Okay, so while tire height, overall diameter is the main thing that dictates what gear ratio you need, rolling weight also makes a big difference, at least enough to talk about. So here for comparison, we've got the OE aluminum 20-inch wheel that came from Jeep, and then we've got the 24-inch black Rhino, which is also aluminum, but it's wider, taller, and I'm guessing heavier. This one here weighed 61.3 pounds, if I'm remembering right. I'm about to take the black Rhino off, put it on the scale, and see how it matches up. Alright, drum roll please. 85 pounds on the dot. At all four corners, that makes up a pretty substantial amount of weight difference. And we're back after that weight comparison. As you can see, the black Rhino wheel and tire weighs about 85 pounds. I mentioned earlier that the OE was about 61.3, I think is what it was. So after calculating, you're talking about almost 95 pounds, 94.8 pounds to be exact. That's 23.7 times 4. So pretty significant rolling weight difference that you got to push with those stock 373 stock trans. And this is exactly where the regearing comes in. So 456 or 488 should put it right back in the right RPM range. I should gain miles per gallon back, and it should overall just be a happier Jeep. So stay tuned. We'll keep doing this till we get the results we're looking for.